All right, guys, today we are in Brooklyn, in Bay Ridge, and we are going to New York Comics. I think they're open about 8 months, but I haven't had time to come over here. So we're going to go check them out. They have no new books. It's kind of a trend, right? A lot of nostalgia shops. No more new books. They're getting away from the direct market, I guess, right? So we'll go into the back bins, see what they got in the back issues, and we'll check it out, all right? So let's go. Some nice signage out front. We are on 79th Street off of 5th Avenue, I think, here. And they got some beautiful signs out front here. All right, this could be pretty cool. Let's go inside and check it out.
How you doing?
We are inside. No new issues. They have no new issues in here. So we're going to go through some back issues here. Let's hit a little Old Man Logan section here. It's got a Wolverine Old Man Logan section here. And I'll speed it up a little bit like the Flash so the video doesn't get too long. But, oh, we got a nice section here of Wolverine. Pretty cool, man.
Let's go, bub.
And look at this run. Look how cool these covers were, actually. All right. Looks like everything's bagged and boarded. Everything is priced. They have some wall books. They have some more long boxes on the ground that you can go through. And I think those were $2 boxes underneath the tables here.
That was legitness.
And they have some statues and statuettes. They actually wrapped some of the action figures in their own. They had their own wrapping. I don't know how they did that. They must have had a machine or something. But they rewrapped, I guess, loose action figures into their own New York Comics box, which is pretty cool. I'll show you to you in a second. It's on the wall here. But these Wolverine books are pretty cool, right? We had some interesting runs here. And they're somewhat modern comics, right? They're kind of contemporary comics. And they have all back issues in here.
Stop it.
And we'll look at the, we'll go through some back issue diving, and we'll go on the other side of the store. And then we'll look at some wall books.
Stop it.
And then we'll maybe look at some trade paperbacks they have and graphic novels. Maybe we'll peek through some of that. And let me know if this is your LCS, if I'm missing anything. If they're famous for something. I think they've been here like 8 months, but they might have been an online store for a couple of years. All right, let's check it out. We'll play some calming, soothing music for the second track here. I don't want to scare you away with that first track. You might be running out of the store screaming. Maybe a little too aggressive there, right? All right, we're going through another bin here, and we got some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We had Terminator 1 and 2 that I pulled out. I thought those are kind of fun.
Whoa.
And they got the new Teen Titans in here. They got some more modern Turtle books, right? Some very cool stuff in here. And I find another book in here too, right? I find, is this where I pull out the Swamp Thing? Oh, there's another Transformers book.
Daddy, chill.
More Transformers, very cool. And look at this handsome devil.
Daddy, chill.
Checking out the store. Look at him. Here's a little Star Wars section. And something's killing the children. All right. And they had some of the, oh, here we go. Some number ones, the 8th print, right, of number 1 that was so popular with the chainsaw. And even some of these early books are pretty good for Something is Killing the Children. They're still kind of holding up their value. I think that show is coming out. Isn't there a show coming out? Here's Saga of the Swamp Thing. Even though Alan Moore comes on like number 20, I still think some of the early run is actually really good. It's got Len Wein as the editor. And some of the covers are pretty cool on the reboot of the Swamp Thing. And we got some more S's in here. Spider-Woman, Swamp Thing. All right, you get the idea, though. I sped it up because I don't want it to take too long going through the bins here. The store is a little small. It's kind of not a huge space, but they got lots of back issues in here. So if you want to do some diving, you can dig right in.
All right, guys, I got a couple of books in there in the back issues. A couple of grabs here and there. So let me show you the books I got, and then we'll go back into the shop, all right? Let me show you the books that I grabbed, and then we'll head back into the shop for a second. So come with me.
All right, we got Now Comics. Now Comics from the 80s. They used to do a lot of this Terminator stuff, and they got Terminator number 1 and 2 Collector's Edition. And that first one, number 1 on the left, Terminator's got a dog. Look how cool that looks. The robots are in control of the dogs, man. All right, and now this one they have, these books were all $5. We got Dark Knight's Metal on the left, that DC run with Snyder and Caputo. And we got the Saga of the Swamp Thing on the right. Like I said, Len Wein was the editor, right, throughout that run. And on number 20, Alan Moore came on. But actually, up to 20, they had some cool covers. And some cool ideas in them. And we got Secret Invasion on the left. And we got a Sabretooth Wolverine fighting Uncanny X-Men there on the right. These were all like $5. I just kind of grabbed them. Like and subscribe if you guys like the content here. It helps out the channel. Here is the comic store's card. New York Comics. There's their info, their address, and their phone number and all that good stuff. I hope it's not too blurry. And he gave me a sticker. He said, hey, take a sticker. They had some stickers in there. And they, all the books were bagged and boarded. Then he gave me a bag to carry them with. So let's see what we got here. I didn't grab that many books. I got 2, 4, I got 6 books. Let's go back into the shop and check it out a little bit more. Let's go back into the shop. We'll look around for a little bit more. All right, there's some more back issues on this side of the store here. And on the wall, there's some wall issues. And there's some statues and action figures. There's some games in here, too, I think. Look at the Miles Morales, man. The number 1 there. It was $45, but it was the second printing. Remember that book was out of control? Even raw ones were crazy. But, I don't know, maybe the first printing now. How much would that be? You could probably grab one, I don't know, maybe $200 for a raw one? Because the 9/8 used to be outrageous, but now they really came down. All right, here's a cool little Uncanny X-Men box. We can go through these, check it out.
Let's go, bub.
And, okay, we got some, like, 100s and 200s, right? We got some 80s and 90s Uncanny X-Men. Pretty cool. Nice little run if you want to fill in your run a little bit and grab some of these books. And they had some cool covers on here, right? Uncanny X-Men. And then in the 90s when it became X-Factor was super cool too. Alright. This is the Claremont. It's still going here. Oh, here's a little Wolverine Sabretooth fighting. You guys know the future. You guys know I grabbed that one.
Whoa.
And we got some Colossus on here. Alright, we'll go through some of these other bins here. We'll see what else they got. But everything is like around $5. It's the pricing's pretty good. Pretty kind of fun. Alright, they have a whole section here of sets. The sets are kind of fun. And then they have a whole section here of signed books. Look at this. The whole, this whole Infinite Crusade, the whole run here, that miniseries, and they're all signed. Every one of them. They got a certificate of authenticity on the back here. Pretty cool, right? Every book in here is signed. It's $40 for the whole miniseries, and each book is signed. I don't know, is that worth checking out? Is that worth like picking that up? And we got the Death of Superman. And we got these are signed. Pretty cool. Justice League. And some of these are from different comic book stores, because on the back it says the comic book shop that it's from. So I think he must have pulled these out of some other comic shops. This is signed. Look, this whole section here, every book is signed. What do you guys think of signed issues? I mean, it drives the price way up, but do you think it's inflated when they're signed? Or you think it's kind of cool to have them signed? I mean, if you're a big fan of the creator, of the writer or the artist, it's kind of cool to grab a signed book. See on the back, it has the comic shop that it came from. Here's a War Machine. Had a signed book. I should have saw who specifically signed some of these, right? What creator actually signed. And you can see the store's pretty crowded. He stuffed a lot of stuff in here. Even though it's like a small space, there's a lot of stuff in here to look at. And on the bottom, there's some more long boxes. I think they were $2 boxes. So if you want to go through those. Look, he had his own package, New York Comics. He put these books, I guess they were loose action figures. And he put them in his own package there, New York Comics. It's pretty cool, right? These are the original packages here. And there's some more books. We got a little Spidey section here. These are all Spider-Man. And we have a little graphic novel section. He's got Invincible trade paperbacks. Look at this. Look how handsome these books are, right? Look how nice they look. The coloring. Little trade paperbacks of a couple of issues. I only see those humongous omnibuses around, like over here. But the trade paperbacks are cool, too. Here's those DC compacts that are selling like crazy. Even though he's got no books, he's got the DC compacts. Because these things are selling like crazy, right? So even this is a pretty good buy. That was the Flash Rebirth. And we had a little Batman section there. The store's getting a little crowded. Everybody's coming in.
I'm vengeance.
And trying not to film some of those people there.
I'm vengeance.
And we are, if you forgot, we are in New York Comic Books, a new shop. They're open about 8 months. And we're going to do the Flash here. This is the Donny Cates Venom. We're going to do the Flash. We'll speed it up a little bit. Remember the Donny Cates Venom? How cool this was when it came out? And each issue was like a big thing when it came out. A lot of twists and turns in the writing. And all the new characters that were being introduced. Alright, here's a little Vision Scarlet Witch. What was that miniseries? That was like from the 80s, right? And they had #1 in here. And here's some more Venom. The Venom one. Very cool. Oh, what was that guy's name? In the yellow suit? You had to figure out his identity. Oh man, I'm forgetting his name. That was a big book for a while, right? Everyone was trying to get that book. A little Vampirella. Alright, we got a little Batman, we got a little detective in here. There's some Black Panther on the left and some Avengers. Some, alright, a mixed Batman. We got some New 52 Batman in here. They had the first Court of Owls on the wall. I think it was like $40. I think the first Court of Owls. And I think they had the first Talon on the wall. You want to check out some of the wall books? They had some cool, kind of the usual suspects. They had a She-Hulk up there. They have Secret Wars, the first black suit. They had the first Lobo, the Omega Man. The first Bane. And up top, I guess they have some other stuff here.
All right, guys. That was New York Comics in Bay Ridge on 79th Street. So they had no new issues in there. Seems to be a trend, right? To be a nostalgia shop. So let me know if that's your LCS, if I missed anything that they're famous for. I think they've been open like 8 months, so it's pretty new. So like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.
It's a trap.